my name is Santosh Subrupan, and today I'll be discussing interface elements in gambling apps for my literature review. So the research question I want to discuss was how do specific interface design elements and online gambling platforms shape user mental representations and areas of reasoning, and how these influences impact both risk perception and decision making. So the reason why this question was important is based on the expansion of online gambling through the Free Trade and Processing Zone Act in 1994. As a digital transition associated with this not only raises important questions concerned for computer-computer interaction, but also for cognitive science as design these digital platforms can significantly influence users' mental representations for expectations regarding control, risk, and chance. And to investigate this research question, I've completed a systematic literature review focusing on how the interface design elements, as mentioned, shape users' mental representations and areas of reasonings. And throughout the whole entire process, I've narrowed my focus based on the project pick feedback and powers from my selected literature onto cognitive science concepts associated with the research question. Initially, my research was broad as it only covered both design and user psychology and online gambling. Since my feedback reflected this, I pivoted to a structured review of how each element influences cognitive processes and user behavior in order to reach a conclusion. So regarding results, the first one we go over is visual cues. For colors, certain colors such as red, green, or gold can activate mental representations based on reward and success. An EEG study associated with the Iowa gambling task proves errors in reasoning by showcasing faster non-deliberate responses among online poker players, with colors indicating rewards such as green. In addition to colors, symbols associated with lucky numbers or icons can trigger mental models of users seeing jackpot via luck, success, or winning. And this in turn can enhance the illusion control and pattern recognition bias as users believe their choices have a real effect, which in turn may increase bets. Likewise, animations such as flashing coins or celebratory effects reinforce the schema of skill-based progression, as specific animations indicate the user is getting better. And one study involving a virtual reality machine follows this as symbols involving with a win line dissolves into bubbles, while all bubbles dissolving indicate a new round. In other words, this is providing great deal of influence based on creating a mental model associated in the user's mind. In addition to visual cues, audio feedback provides an important role as cues for rewards such as jingles and coin sounds can create a mental model of guaranteed reward through constant feedback, even though the user could be using as well. And this in turn can provide errors in reasoning, with sounds indicating progress or wins despite the overall profit being in the negative with these associations. The third element, based on the results, was design placement, as certain interface elements are placed in areas associated with reward, thus building a mental schema that links the space with either winning or progress. And this in turn is reinforced by a study comparing both a null model with a hypothesis model that also includes feelings of agency based on expected result, as players using an unexpected predictable interface can help them have more control over their gambling habits. And likewise, design placement can produce errors in reasoning based on dark patterns, as users are more likely in choosing riskier options without thinking. And this is showcased with the DraftKings app picture. Last but not least, our last element is notifications, as outside notifications asking users to claim a daily reward can easily build a mental model of feedback with especially with repeated exposure. And this in turn is proven with evidence that notifications can urge players to act immediately with time limitations, thus skewing rational decision making and reinforcing compulsive engagement. And for instance, based on the picture, a push notification is begging the user to go bet again. And overall, based on results, elements associated with visual cues such as colors and symbols play an important role in mental models and propositional logic for users. When combined with other elements such as audio feedback, design placement, and notifications, these cues reinforce rule-based analogies that can encourage errors of reasoning. And as a result, users are now biased toward risky bets and irrational behavior as they rely on both past experiences and emotions instead of the random chances at play for any game. And with all this, future research should expand upon existing interventions that prevent the mental model associated with online gambling, as well as the areas of reasoning, which in turn would produce a safer environment for gambling. And here are my references. Thank you.